तो यहाँ पे हम अपेंडिक्स बी कर लेंगे। अब इसमें बेटा सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज कि जो तुम्हारा स्टॉक आइटम इन्वेंट्री है वो तुम बना सकते हो। नाउ वी गो ऑन टू समथिंग कॉल्ड द लेजर व्यू। नाउ Tally has two views, ledger view and stock item and general view. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear beta? है ना? Now in the general view we have the stock item movement without taxes. In the ledger view B, the movement is with taxes. Okay, now in this case we are going to analyze the ledger view, balance sheet and profit and loss movements. Okay, so ledger view, which is here. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now there are certain इसमें attributes हैं बेटा which are clear. We start. I'll do one each. Okay, I'll do one each and then you can pick it up from there. Right. इसमें बेटा do we have revenue? Is revenue है क्या? चलो we'll look into it later. Let's start with FX gross profit. Okay, so I pick up this or I say FX stock because these are samples, right? So if I say FX gross profit, now normally क्या होता है यार कि what my understanding of it is that if it is affecting the gross profit, आपका gross profit directly आना चाहिए. So if I pick up this particular field and then go on to my stock item view, then I should get my gross profit directly. Right, now I don't know how the companies are actually managing this because in some of the cases in sales we are not getting FX gross profit correctly. Is it clear? Right, for example, a sales voucher does not have FX gross profit enabled, but right now we are keeping this attribute. So now this FX gross profit basically, so I start off with FX gross profit, so you can actually replicate it at your end. This is an attribute from the group master. The attribute indicates that whether the particular ledger group is affecting the gross profit or not. Is it clear? So,
Yes.
if the gross profit is being affected, then this attribute is marked as yes, else it is marked as no. So if the just one second. So this is an attribute, right? So of the particular, if the gross profit is being affected, then it's marked as yes, else it is marked as no, right? So if the ledger group is in sales accounts and voucher type is sales, then if it is in sales accounts, right, अगर वो sales accounts में जा रहा है, then it should affect the gross profit, na? Then it should affect the gross profit. I'm not very clear how it is working out on this case. Why do in certain companies, if it's in sales accounts, then they're marking it as no? So basically, I'll tell you how it works is, Ritesh beta, I say come here, I come to alter and I pick up sales accounts here. So you see this here, does it affect the gross profit? Yes. So it's basically this yes here. Now I don't know how, in some other cases it's not coming out correctly. So I just need to check this up. Right, so it's something like this. Is it clear, beta? So if the group contains the sales accounts, then it should affect the gross profit. Is it clear, Ritesh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the definition is as follows. For a given company name and ledger associated with the ledger view, the field of gross profit is picked up from the group masters. Ritesh, basically what I was thinking was that, you know, what I will do is I will simply pick up wherever it is affected as gross profit and get my gross profit calculations. But apparently that is not exactly working well. Are you understanding it?
Why, sir?
So I mean, otherwise, in terms of gross profit, I was just saying that, you know, I was actually thinking of using this field straight away. But let's see. let's go ahead with it and let's see how it, I'll just define it right now. Okay. So the definition is for a given company with a ledger view, the gross profit is picked up from the group masters. So how it is done is, the method of calculation is that the ledger's primary group is selected. उसका प्राइमरी ग्रुप को सेलेक्ट करता है. ओके. Based on the given company and associated and primary group associated with the ledger, the field is group of field of this thing is there. ठीक है ना. So the method of extraction of the same follows a 2-step process. A, find the ledger primary field based on the ledger entry in the ledger underscore view. Now this ledger primary field beta is actually, I have already getting it from the this thing. The ledger primary field is already been extracted in the ledger underscore view. Okay. So based on the, so this is the DAX. The DAX code is as follows. अब बताओ बेटा ये DAX code होगा. Now what I want you to do is, I want you to tell me the SQL code for it. Code for the same is as follows. हाँ बताओ बेटा.
It will be like with CT1 as calculate minimum of the table.
With CT1 as, yeah.
Calculate. Select.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Let me write it down. Effects, gross, yeah, profit from group. A, left outer join. ये हो सकता है कि नहीं हो सकता, right? Ledger underscore view B on A dot, right? Company underscore name is equal to B dot company name and A dot ledger underscore name dot 1 is equal to B dot ledger underscore primary. ये समझ में आ गया कि नहीं आ गया? Yes or no? Select star from CT1. Is it done? Huh? In a similar fashion, is revenue and FX stock can also be extracted, right? ये समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है? Yes or no? हाँ बच्चे?
Yes, sir. और भी select साथ A dot effect gross profit होगा सर.
नहीं, I mean, I'll give you a tricky one. I'll give you a tricky one to do. Now, the balance sheet entries are part of the following set of measures. The following are the attributes for the measures in the product. Is it clear? A. The measures shall work with the dynamic time slices. Is it clear? B. The measures have been defined at a fixed granularity of ledger, company name, okay. ओके इस फिक्स ग्रैनुलैरिटी पे वो डिफाइन हुए हैं, करेक्ट? सो दिस हैज बीन डन यूजिंग द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ ऑल एक्सेप्ट, राइट? ये हो जाएगा. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This has been enabled by using the DAX functionality of all except. ठीक है बेटा? The required business logic has been calculated, has been used in the filter parameter of calculate. For example, the cash ledger movement is defined by ledger primary containing cash. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no बेटा?
Yes, sir.
अब थोड़ा सा मैं ट्रिकी बना दूंगा इसको. I'll ask you to give me the SQL code for it. तो तैयार रहना. The measures are all snapshots. That is the calculation is before the maximum date in the slicer parameter. As follows. ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. यस or no?
Interesting, sir. थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स भी है.
मजा आया कि नहीं आया?
इंटरेस्टिंग था सर, थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स भी है.
हाँ.
हाँ सर, अच्छा.
So if you master this, then no company can stop you. मतलब मैं कह रहा हूँ कि सिलेक्शन होगा ही होगा. Because this is a standard product now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It has more than 40 implement. It has got more than 60 POCs done in the last 3 months. And more, and big companies like Paisa Bazaar, Policy Bazaar, and all these big companies are using it for audit. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So if you do this and you actually go and blabber in the interview, so this is a product, this is the documentation. So documentation you keep. Most of the clients are already settled. For example, the two of the clients where we are talking, the senior video as well as the documentation, it's more or less done. Is it clear? So
Yes, sir.
ये हो गया. So they are all snapshots. Then the opening ledger balance for the given ledger has been added from the ledger balance snapshot to arrive at the closing balance. ये समझ में आया कि नहीं आया?
Yes, sir.
hence the definition of the cash balance So hence the definition of cash balance is as follows. It is defined as the to date balance, closing balance for all the ledger entries where the ledger group belongs to the cash account. At the level of ledger name and company name. Between the set of dates that have been chosen in the slicer. So here the assumption is that the minimum date in the slicer is lesser than or equal to the date on which the opening ledger balance for cash was calculated. Is this clear, beta? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है बेटा. So the SQL code for the same is as follows. अब बता बेटा कैसे होगा. Think through it.
ये मैक्सिमम डेट मिनिमम डेट सर फंक्शन से निकालना पड़ेगा क्या? फंक्शन बना के
तो मैं ऐसा करो बेटा, अभी लेस देन इक्वल टू बेटा मैक्सिमम डेट निकाल लो, बिकॉज दैट्स एन इनपुट पैरामीटर, राइट. With CT1 as select sum of ledger underscore amount as cash underscore balance. ये रनिंग सम का एक पोर्शन है ना, दिस इज मोर लाइक अ रनिंग सम. Here he is calculating a running sum here. बताओ दोस्त कैसे होगा. It's a case of a self join. All the calculate statements are cases of self join. Name, company name, comma, date, comma, debit underscore amount, comma, credit underscore amount, from ledger underscore view. CT2 as yes no, CT3 as bolo beta. Now you'll do a join. Select sum of debit underscore amount minus credit underscore amount as running underscore sum, right? Comma, comma, company name, comma name, from CT1A, join CT2B on A dot name is equal to B dot name and A dot company name is equal to B dot company name and A dot date is greater than greater than equal to B dot date. ये समझ आया? And A dot date is less than equal to max underscore date at max underscore date. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Group by name, comma, company name. Select star from CT3. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
ये क्लियर है कि नहीं है? इसको तुम बेटा पूरा का पूरा ऑडिट करना है. सो यू जस्ट बेसिकली डू अ कंप्लीट ऑडिट ऑफ दिस. Just go through this again. So wherever there is calculate and there is filter, it's always a self join. Always. Because it's operating on two level of context. So this is associated with this, and this document data is associated with this document data, this portion. So it will operate on two different level of context. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Plus fn underscore capture initial balance. Is it clear? अब ये फंक्शन कैसे बनेगा बताओ रोहित, रितेश? Create function dbo dot this as, sorry, इसमें क्या आएगा? at company name varchar 255, at ledger name varchar 255, returns
Decimal.
18,5. ऐसे होगा ना? begin
सबको डिक्लेयर करना पड़ेगा सर.
हाँ बेटा, अब डिक्लेयर करोगे इसको, किसको? व्हाट यू विल डिक्लेयर? एट ओपनिंग बैलेंस डेसिमल 23,5. set at opening balance equal to बोलो, tell me, Ritesh, how would you do it?
Select max balance हो जाएगा सर.
Select, not max balance, just select the opening balance.
On the
Opening
table.
underscore balance, yeah. You have the same file with you. Actually, this opening balance is coming here. Tell me now. So this is the one, and this is the one. So these two are going to combine because this logic condition has to also come in. Tell me, beta. Think through it.
may-
For now, I'll write it down, Ritesh, but you have to be able to select opening balance from ledger underscore view, where is equal to company name and at ledger name is equal to ledger name, right? And ledger primary like cash. Is this clear, beta?
okay, sir.
Return at opening balance. End. So you see, this very complex SQL code can easily be done by any developer. So the DAX is making it very, very easy. The same logic has been replicated across all balance sheet entries. Is this clear, beta? Now what happens in the case of profit and loss entries? In the case of profit and loss entries, the measure includes the difference between the maximum and minimum dates as selected by the end client. For example, sales is defined as follows. मजा आया?
हाँ सर, अभी क्लियर हो रहा है। बीच बीच में फंसता है।
कहीं हंसता है कि इट्स टू कॉम्प्लेक्स? Now, profit and loss entries are cumulative in nature as given below. Right? But the similar group logic is followed here. Similar group logic is followed in this case. Similarly, purchase, indirect expense, direct expense have been calculated. सही है कि नहीं है? Now the remaining ones you can do, Ritesh. एक एक किसको समझ के कर लो. Primary group, payment code, then purchase, then rate of tax. So you can do this whole thing. Yes or no? You can give this a shot.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
I will try,
So
sir.
I load this document. Yeah, I load this document, and you can take it up from there. Right?
Okay, sir.